Welcome back, my students. I've taught many of you how to make more money than you ever thought possible off of the crypto you already own and believe in long term. You thought it was going to be so challenging, but turns out it was just that easy. But there's one big bad thing everyone's forgotten. The tax man. And he's coming. He's coming. He's coming for you and all your crypto. They want it all. But if you trust me and you trust all the things I've taught you, weary traveler, I will show you how you can take your portfolio, that self-sustaining portfolio that prints you money each and every day, and how you can move it somewhere, whether that's the whole portfolio or even just the profits, and start to exit the system to where the tax man, the IRS, whatever country you may be in, allegedly, will never find it. All right, guys, so this is actually quite interesting. This privacy rabbit hole I've been going down, it may be valuable to some more than others, and I think I see a lot of value in just having that privacy to end up with your own self-sustaining wallets that are sovereign and basically unidentifiable in a way. And this is never financial advice, never tax advice, never legal advice, but I'm going to show you what I've been learning on this rabbit hole and how this can apply to your DeFi portfolios to save you lots of money and or safety concerns in the long run, whatever that may be. So again, we talk a lot about like put your crypto to work and have it be working for you, right? Talking about lending out your Bitcoin, borrowing against it, putting it into pools that are going to cash flow, and then systemizing where that cash flow is going to go, right? So like, for example, if we're putting borrowed capital into pools, you can see that these right now at the current time of recording, it's looking whatever, but it's doing about $1,000 a month, right? So maybe traditionally you have some sort of system where you use that $1,000 a month and you buy more of your quality assets that you want to lend out, and then you lend those out, borrow more against them, run more pools, etc. Cash flow, buy more of the assets you want to hold, have some stable coins on the side. Anyways, something I am proposing that I'm considering doing, maybe others should do too, whether or not you want to just full port your portfolio in something like this, that's going to be up to you. Maybe it's something you'd want to slow feed through your profits into. But there is something valuable, I'd say, in having a wallet that is completely disconnected from your name whatsoever. It's never been touched by an exchange, KYC. It's something that would be completely unidentifiable to you outside of if someone knew your seed phrase, knew that was you, or if you're like posting screenshots on the internet of your address type stuff, right? So enter Houdini Swap, which by the way, I should have kept the purple background because this is fire for the video. I talked about Mute Swap in a live stream a while back, and that led me to looking more into Houdini Swap. The fast version of what this is doing in the background, right? If you have Monero enabled, essentially what this is doing is it's going to create a tunnel where you would basically, for example, let's say I want to send Solana to an address and I want to receive it on a new Rabby wallet that's never been connected to anything, or a Trezor or a Ledger, something that generates that seed offline, and then it's going to be a wallet unbeknownst to anyone, an address that no one will ever know it's owned by you. And the reason is because if I was to do something like this, I would copy the address I want to send it to, and I would paste it here, and I'd click proceed to swap. And so what this is actually going to do is it's going to then build basically a payment type link, a QR code that you would send your Solana to, right? You send Solana to this, or you can do anything, right? You might have some USDT or USDC on a network, like maybe you have some USDC on Arbitrum, and you want to send that to a private just Bitcoin wallet, right? Well, you would just, whether $1,000, right? Make sure it's on the private transaction setting. You'd pay about 1% for the service, and then you put your new Bitcoin address in there that has no Bitcoin in it from ever before. And what this is going to do is allow you to build up this wallet that has never been connected to you. And so for tax reasons, for privacy reasons, for whatever it may be, this is something that may be worth it to a lot of people. And I think where this gets really powerful, it's not so much like, okay, it's powerful in the moment, the second that you move money over to this private place, right? Where I think it becomes really powerful is when you start building this self-sustaining system, right? Where if you have Bitcoin lent out, you're borrowing money against it, and you're using this to make you $1,000 a month, right? If you're someone that is not looking to take this cash into the real world at the current moment, it is something where if you put yourself in a position to where, like, say, for example, I take $1,000 of that profit each month, and I want to send that to a private Ethereum wallet that's never been touched by money before. What I would do is send that over. You see, I pay a little bit, so I'd lose about 20 bucks on that. But again, this is money we're earning for free anyways. It's an investment into our future. And then what happens is that you start to build a new system. A new system here that is completely disconnected from any KYC ever. For, again, privacy reasons, for whatever. It doesn't even have to be a major reason besides the fact that you don't think people should know how much money or what you have going on in your wallet. If you just, like, say you're a famous person or a famous crypto influencer, if you don't want people tracking your wallets and shit and all this shit that you're doing, then send it to a wallet that's unregistered and no one will ever be able to know that it was you, and then boom. And how does this work? Well, the original V1 version uses Monero, right? It's a Monero tunnel, kind of like we talked about Mute Swap before. So essentially, you're sending USDC, it's getting routed into Monero and then back out of Monero onto ETH. And because of that Monero tunnel, they'll never be able to know that it was you, essentially. And they have a new version, which is a little different. They do like randomized layer 1 hopping. I would just use Monero for ease of use and just knowing that Monero has never been cracked. But, you know, they built that V2, V3 just to build an independence from Monero. But I would use Monero if you have the opportunity. And again, you're paying a bit of a premium here. So always test with a small amount and just send it to a brand new wallet that you create with a new seed phrase, whether that's with a Ledger or a Trezor or just through Rabby or Phantom Wallet itself, and experiment with sending some money over. Because what you can start to do is build this, not even just one wallet, you can have multiple wallets, but sovereign wallets that no one but you, like imagine if your only job, imagine this. You have one super wallet that the seed phrase has never been written down and it's only in your head. Only problem is if you die, then no one's gonna get that money either. But at the same time, it's your money, you die, fuck, it did go with you. You know, they say you can't take your money with you when you die, but if it's only a seed phrase in your head, then that's the one time you actually take your money with you, I guess. But the point being, you can make this one, like you have your other seed phrases written down, stored, whatever. You could have one seed phrase, whether that's a 12-word, 24-word, and that's up here. And you might have it written down for a while, and you memorize that shit like it's your fucking birthday, and then eventually you burn the paper. And when you burn the paper, it's this private wallet that's never been connected to your name and you could send money to. And if you ever wanted to spend the money from that or send that back, like I talked about, if you're using this for like straight profits back to the real world, you probably should just skip that step. But if you start to build this isolated system in a private wallet, if you ever wanted to spend the money, you could just then Houdini swap the fuck out of there into another unregistered wallet, and there'd just be an unregistered wallet that has 500 bucks in it. And then you could use a site like freaking, I've used Bitrefill before, bro. Bitrefill, you come here, you want to buy some shit on Amazon, get an Amazon card, you up to $500 a day, no KYC, boom. Oh, it's a monthly limit. It used to be a daily limit. It's a monthly limit now. Is crazy. But that's fine. It used to be a daily limit, it's a monthly limit now, whatever. But up to 500 or 1,000 bucks a month, non-KYC, $500 daily limit, or apparently there is a, $1,000 monthly limit now. Okay, whatever though. Still, every month, you're just fucking siphoning out some money into gift cards, whatever you may need. If you want to buy something at Best Buy or Amazon or like, you know, the trip to Thailand I booked, it's like, why would I go through all the freaking hoops of cashing out crypto to my bank account and all this when I can just get a Delta Airlines gift card with crypto directly and then boom, just fucking cash out, you know, 20 of these bad boys and we're all good. Also, not financial advice or not internet advice, but if you use different incognito browsers and different emails and stuff like that, you could definitely, a guest account, you get away with, you know, more than you thought. Because it's like, you know, it's going to say this. Well, if I use my laptop or my phone or an iPad, other devices, it's going to let you keep doing more and more and more. So you could easily find your way around this. But the point stands, and I wanted to make this known, is that, you know, a lot of us think the government, and, you know, a lot of us in crypto think the same ways. We don't like excess government control. We don't like what they're doing with money. We don't like, I mean, we started a revolution over less taxes than we pay today. And if you're making a lot of money, you're paying crazy taxes, right? So, you know, and at the same time, it's just like you also, I've always hated people being over my shoulder, right? I hate like the invasion of privacy. Like, for example, in a relationship, this is gonna be personal as fuck, but like, I still lock the bathroom door. And sometimes it irritates people because they wanna be able to just go in, and like you're dating, like, why can't I just go to the bathroom? It's like, I just like the privacy. I've always just liked privacy. And so I'm sharing this with you guys because this is how you can make your crypto private. I think it's a very powerful tool. And so again, you could order, like a new Tracer or something, right? And it's gonna pop into a cart. Okay, perfect. Tracer Safe 7. This is actually perfect. It just auto-loaded the cart. You could purchase one of these, and this will Bluetooth to your phone, be super compatible with Rabby or Phantom Wallet, whatever you want to do, multi-chain. And you could set this up, and once an address is generated through your seed phrase, write it down, memorize that shit. Well, do some Houdini swap. Start to over time build this secret bag of assets that, well, you know what I mean. If this is valuable to you, let me know in the comments. Of course, this may be valuable to some, may not be valuable to others, but even just in terms of it being cool, and I like the privacy tech behind this, like it's pretty cool to show off. It's cool that you can do this, and whether or not it's valuable, that'll be person to person. Some people live in countries where the taxes aren't that bad, or they don't even really care about crypto. So it really just kind of depends, but I think it's something worth looking into. And again, it could just be something small, right? So where if you are building an income like this, and say let's say you're making $1,000 a month. Well, if you did 25% and you were like, I'm gonna Houdini this shit, 25% Houdini, well, over time, like what's that over a year? 12,000. So over time, you're going to have a couple grand that starts to build up in this just private location where no one will ever be able to take that from you because it will never be able to be proved that it's yours, right? They can never tax you, or I don't know. There's lots of ways that you can assess this. I just think it's really cool, and it's something that I may allegedly start experimenting with, where it's like I can take a little bit of my capital each month, 25%, let's say, that's being generated, and it's like, why would you not just throw that somewhere else, right? And if you decide that it's not worth it, cool, just compromise the wallet, send it back to the other ones, like whatever. But like in theory, it's really, really cool because we've seen things before. I think, what was it? The Canadian truckers and stuff, all their bank accounts frozen and whatnot, okay? And in the reality, something to tell you guys, a lot of these stable coins, different stuff, they are programmable in a way to where if something were to happen, they could freeze certain wallets and stuff like that. And that's electively for criminal activity. But imagine if you said the wrong thing online, society gets a little more dystopian, and they decide to freeze your tokens in a Solana wallet. Like if you have a Solana wallet and it has like 20K USDC in that bitch, and they're like, this guy's talking too much shit online, and they freeze your fucking wallet because they found out what's yours, because they know what exchanges you came from, well then boom. Your money's frozen, and you thought you got away from the banking system, but turns out you're just as fucked. I've been looking at myself over here the whole time and not myself on the camera. Sorry about that, boys. But so that's something to think about, right? So if you can move that to a wallet that's not connected to your name, it takes away a lot of that targeting ability where they can target you and freeze your funds. And this is stuff that could never happen, but it goes back to the saying, would you rather be a gardener in a war or a warrior in a garden, right? It's the same thing. Would you rather have a plan for something like that, or you don't have a plan and then it all goes to shit? Would you rather have a gun and never have to use it, or would you rather not have a gun and wish you had it? It's the whole thing. Like, right? And so, and again, in crypto, most of us think the same way about a lot of things. I think most people will find this somewhat attractive. In the same way that most of us lean a lot of the same ways politically and like ideologically on a lot of stuff. So, most of us will find this at least interesting, and whether or not you use it, like I'm not getting paid for any of this shit. Like I told you guys, I'll never push anything that I don't believe in. I'm not going to take sponsors on coins. Like I'm not even talking about their coin. They have a coin. I don't think you should probably buy it unless you want to gamble, which half you motherfuckers are gambling on shit anyway. So fuck it. Maybe you'll hit a 10x. But, I'm not ever going to sell out on shit, right? So if they ever do something that changes, I'll let you guys know too. But I just think it's pretty cool, right? So once you've built your system, it's like, hey, this is all about freedom. It's all about the freedom it can give you. So, yeah, if you can use these funds and get it somewhere completely isolated that will never be seen, and you could use that to live your best life. One day when you retire with this secret pot of money, imagine this secret $1 million crypto bag, and then if you're making 10% a month off that, you're making, yeah, that's good money. That's good money right there, man. $1 million bag, 10% a month, making 100K, living on some island somewhere, and then you just take that non-KYC bag and you go dump those stable coins off at like the exchange conversion counters. I know guys that do that. They go out to Thailand and they just send stable coins and get cash and whatnot. And it's like you can literally live off that for the rest of your life, and no one will even know it's yours. So Anyways, that was my rant. Guys, I think it's pretty cool. If you think it's cool, again, let me know in the comments. It could be very useful. It may not be as useful today as it could be 20 years from now. We don't know what kind of dystopian future the future holds. Look at all this red shit. This is such a fucking like vibe today. But the point stands, and I think it's really cool. It's worth talking about, worth sharing. A lot of people, they don't ever get on chain and like learn how they can monetize their assets. You know, they don't learn that you could do stuff like this and create this non-KYC'd wallet where you don't have to go through all the hoops of getting KYC and all that stuff. So it's quite interesting, you know, and it's definitely probably should turn a VPN on while you use it. That might help, you know, hide some more stuff too. But yeah, guys, if you have any questions, again, drop them in the comments. If you want to learn how to build your own DeFi system, if you want to work with me one-on-one, if you want to make about 10% a month, if you want to monetize the crypto that you already own so you can live that life of freedom we talked about, click the link in my description. As always, you can book a call to work one-on-one with me, and then we'll get you prepped. We'll get you started so you can start living that life of your dreams. And then, hey, maybe I'll see you guys out in Thailand next month. So boys, again, hopefully you found this valuable. YouTube says watch this video right here. Again, click that link in my description. If not, and boys, I will see you in the next video. All right, I'm not gonna lie, the red is kind of tough. I think purple's still my favorite, but the red's kind of tough. It's just, with the red, it's not as bright, so you see a lot more of the black. But that's kind of nice. I don't know, the red's kind of goated, but I feel like it makes me more like evil looking. I don't want to look evil. Not most of the time. We'll keep the red today. We'll keep the red today, guys. That's the intro I've ever done. But it's low-key kind of fire. That shit's funny as fuck.